What is going on, y'all? It is your boy Knowledge, seven-figure entrepreneur, and I've been in the notary space for almost 10 years now. What I want to talk to you guys today is about the other side of things. The other side of things, because everybody always talks about, oh, being a loan signing agent. Oh my gosh, I hate to hear that. If you watch the content on TikTok, you know that I always hate on it, but every avenue within the notary business makes money, which is fine. But what people don't really talk about is the agency side of things. But what about the signing services? What about the signing agencies? How do they make money? How much are they capable of making as compared to a notary? And these are things that's important to understand because it's such a niche market. It's a niche market within a niche market. Being a notary isn't niche. Being a mobile notary is more niche. Being a signing service or signing agency is even more niche. So it's a niche within a niche within a niche. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's important to even know what's going on there. So one of the things you have to know is that when you're a notary, solely a solo notary is capped by daily income. So we're going to say solo notaries equals capped by daily income. And what I mean by that, oh my gosh, I cannot type today, y'all. Your boy Knowledge cannot type today. You're capped by your income. So you might make $200 to $600, maybe even $2,000 to $1,000 a day, but you're limited by time and energy. As a solo notary, as a solo operator, you might hear me call that as well, is you can make money. It may be better than the job that you have now, maybe, if you can get it consistent, but you're using your time and you're using your energy. And one of the things that you guys have to understand, or you should understand, that time is more than money. And when you start looking at it like that, that's when things will change. Ooh, that was a horrible way. I'm using my mouse pad to do this, not working. But anyways, you gotta realize that time is greater than money. Time will always be greater than money. And this is my little T right here. This stands for time. Time greater than money. Once you think about it from that framework, even if you don't understand it, just start believing in that fact now, because it'll rewire you to think about things within a different perspective that will help you gain more money because you're not using your time to get it. But just understand this for now. As a solo notary, you're using your time for money. Anytime a notarization comes up, you have to leave your house, you leave your home, leave your office, go to that location one way, notarize the documents, and if everything goes smooth, you drive back home. But let's say that there's traffic. You have to account for traffic. Let's say that something happens with the document. You have to wait for the clients to fill out the documents. Let's say that they need you to print it. You may need to go print it. All of this is burning up time, which is moving into the hours. So even if you get $100 for an hour, you still use your time and your energy to go there and go back. So you have a 30-minute commute there, and then you have 30 minutes back. So that's an hour. Or if it took you an hour to get there and an hour to get back, that was 2 hours. You're capped. So even if you look at it that way, there's only so many hours within that day that you can do a notarization. You see what I'm saying? So there's gonna be a ceiling that you hit, and before you even hit that ceiling, you might be extremely tired. I started getting tired to the point where I'm like, oh my gosh. I started turning down jobs. I'm like, y'all can keep this. I'm good. I need to just keep my mental health and my sanity intact. So just trying to save you guys the headache that I had. And as an agency, the difference is the agency, you're making money per order, not per hour. So it's earnings per order. So let me just put that right there so you see it. Agency equals earnings per order, not per hour. So this means that every job that comes through, you're making money from, right? And I probably should have put this in two ways, side to side, so you can see it. But every job that comes through, you're making money from. So you're not sacrificing your time anymore. You're not sacrificing your time anymore. You're just making money off of either other people's efforts or from the efforts from your agency. So for example, let me do it like this, just so this is even clearer for you guys to understand, right? So you have your solo notary right here, boom, boom. You got your agency right here, boom. And then you got a line down the middle. And then you know that time is greater than money. So for example, boom, boom. See how fast I did that? I'm just good at what I do, y'all. I don't know what to tell you. So you're capped by income on the left side, but on the right side, you're not capped by income, your daily income using your hours. You're just capped by your earnings per order. So each order that comes in now, once you send somebody out, you can keep making money from that. It doesn't matter. All day, keep making money from that. That's the first thing you should understand. Next up is, as a solo notary, you do the work. So if there's a mistake, if something happens, you're the one that's going out there and notarizing all of these documents. You're the one that's using up your time. You're the one that has to go out to the appointment if a client forgets their ID. If anything happens, you're the one that has to do anything, and you got to keep track of your finances, and you got to think about marketing, and you got to drive, and you got to make sure that your car doesn't have any repairs, and you got to get cash. It's like, you might not think about all these things because it might just seem as if you're driving to your appointment and doing it and done. But there's so many things that come around that too that you have to account for while still being able to make money. And if you have a 9 to 5 and you're doing that job, so it's just a lot. You don't have to do all of that. You don't have to do all of that stuff once you learn the information. But when you're an agency, you manage the work. You manage the work. You're making sure that notaries, solo notaries, are completing the job while you worry about all the things on the back end. So I don't know how you guys out there work, but me, I would much rather be at the house, making sure that they get the job done, make sure the job is complete, rather than having to go out there and do it myself. I've done it for years. I can tell you, you don't have to do it because there's other ways to do it. But as an agency, you manage the work. You're making sure the notary gets the job done completely. You're making sure that the client had a satisfactory time. You're making sure that everybody gets paid or everybody has paid, right? And with the solo notary, you got to realize that income is linear, meaning the more money you make, the more hours. So if you want to make more money, you're going to have to move more of your time up. So you're basically using your most valuable resources to get more money, something that can always be gotten back, but you can't get your time back no matter what. But the agency income is more scalable. So income is scalable, meaning you don't have to use your hours up, right? More hours, more orders don't require more of your time. They just require better systems. So you can get 100 orders a day without having to work for 100 hours or 200 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't make any sense. You don't have to do that. You just have to be able to manage everything correctly and be able to send people out to the location to do the job. That's what you need to understand, right? It doesn't make any sense. So as a solo notary, let's say you work 5 jobs at $100. So if you're a notary and you worked solo, you did 5 jobs at $100 an hour, you made $500 for the day, right? But you made, I said $100 for the day. You might think, oh, that's great, but you gotta find, you have to find a way to make that, you have to find a way to get 5 jobs at $100. But when you're driving to each of these locations, right? You're driving to each of these locations when you're having time to market. How many hours is it taking you to do that, right? You get capped off there. You get capped off at that $500 a day, and you've used your hours out. And on top of that, if you have a job, when are you gonna have time to put 5-6 hours into driving? You see what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. But then if you're driving, how do you have time to learn more ways to market? It's not impossible, but there's an easier way to do it. On the other hand, when you have the agency, you can do 20 jobs, not have to use these hours, because this could take you, 5 to 7 hours, accounting for traffic, accounting for printing, maybe even 5 to 8 hours, to be honest with you. But I'll just put 5 to 7 hours to be conservative, right? On the other hand, you have an agency. You can do 20 jobs, right? You can do 20 jobs in that day with a $40 margin. And then from that, you made $800 for that day. Hopefully I did that math right. And you probably worked 1-2 hours maybe? It doesn't make any sense to me, y'all. It doesn't make any sense to me why you would choose to do the solo notary way Only way it makes sense is if that's all you know and you just rather drive all day rather than having a job, then that way makes so sense. But once you understand the notary agency way, it makes even more sense because you can stay within the same industry, you can stay within the same business and still make that money. Because now those 20 jobs that you're outsourcing on a low end, you make $40 margin. You made $100 for the day working 1 to 2 hours without leaving the house. So it's like, at that point, which one would you choose? And all I'm trying to do is just open up the eyes of some notaries, those that listen, those that have that entrepreneurial mindset to be like, you know, I'm tired of driving, to do something like this. Or for people that are out there that want to get into a boring business that makes money, this is what you can do. It's simple. It's simple. This is what I do. This is how I'm freeing my family. This is how we're building up financial wealth and income, how we have financial freedom, location freedom, time freedom. Right here, I'm sitting down while people are probably at work or sleeping, making videos. So you can understand this is something that you can do as well. But anyways, like I said, if you're a notary that's looking to make more money, like you actually want to make more money, or if you're new to the industry and you don't even know where to go next, or if you're not even in the business of notaries at all and want to learn more, click the link in my bio. Me or a member of my team will reach out to you so we can walk you through the process on making money. We'll handhold you through the process from A to Z and teach you what we know. So go ahead and click that link in the bio. Hopefully you like the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. See you guys in the next video. Peace. If you found this helpful, make sure to join our free Notary Knowledge Academy. It's the #1 community for all notaries. And if you need one-on-one mentorship on how to grow your business from 3 to 8K plus in your notary business, all the links are down below. Go ahead and click that, and I'll see you guys on the inside.